Asylum Justin Manawar for Revolution News. Here at Toronto. Well, folks, here I am standing outside of Kehilat Sharet Torah, a synagogue that has been targeted by arsonists, but not an ordinary arsonist, if you will, here, folks, because for sure these arsonists are bunch of pro-Hamas types, those bunch of anti-Semites. And also, the thing here, folks, is, well, it is pretty much 3 days. 3 days in this hog town for anti-Semitic hate crime. First, it was a Jewish school bus, primarily targeted by the pro-Hamas types. Yesterday, a Jewish school targeted by the pro-Hamas types, Leo Back Day School. I actually did a story on that, and well, of course, here, folks, just see this gruesome video evidence of the aftermath of that said crime that had occurred at Leo Back Day School. Here, folks, check it out. So there you have it there, folks. So you can just see right here that the ultimate key factor that this Jewish synagogue is being targeted by the pro-Hamas types, because of course this Jewish synagogue actually shows solidarity with the state of Israel, especially its right to exist, and of course it shows sympathy for the families of the people that got taken hostage by the Hamas terrorists. But well, of course, here, folks, the other key part here, you can just see right here that, well, in the sun, pictures of the hostages that are still pretty much kept captive in Gaza. But also, the other part here, folks, is, well, just 2 months ago, this Jewish synagogue was targeted by the pro-Hamas types. Basically, the windows were shattered, not exactly shattered, but basically there's a crack on the window glass. I think a airsoft gun been used to try and smash the window, but they weren't successful at all. But just as for what it is here, folks, because quite frankly, also what's come to what happened yesterday at Leo Back Day School is, well, according to the Toronto police, this is kind of an isolated incident that, well, the homeless person, homeless person was the one responsible for the arson that had occurred at that school. But of course, nothing new was come to the Toronto police, because they obviously was come to this type of incident, they would just rather shrug it, because, well, the target of the crime is Jews, and the perpetrators are a bunch of pro-Hamas types. Just sort of also imagine here, folks, if this thing happens to a mosque or Muslim school. Oh yeah, the outrage will be huge. Justin Trudeau will surely end his Tofino vacation and basically hold an immediate emergency press conference. And also, well, the provincial government, Doug Ford, will surely have the police investigate it, and Olivia Chow will surely do the same thing. But of course, once again, the target is Jews. So yeah, of course, just kept being shrugged under the rug. And of course, here, folks, well, there's another synagogue that has been targeted by the Hamas mob. So well, of course, I'm gonna be trying my best to go to that synagogue and basically see the whole situation there for myself here, folks. Well, folks, here I am standing at another synagogue that has been victimized by arson, by anti-Semitic hate crime, which is caused by the pro-Hamas types. So you can just see right here from behind me, oh yes, the sign is completely torched, completely burnt to crisp. Unbelievable here, folks. But also, the crazy matter here, folks, is that, well, this synagogue where I'm standing at is called Temple Sinai, and I think this synagogue is part of the widening of York Center, which is the widening of Yara Sachs. She is the Minister of Mental Health and Addictions, but of course, she's also Jewish. And along with that here, folks, well, she also flew to Ramallah to shake hands with Mahmoud Abbas, an arch terrorist who essentially pays people to go after and kill Jewish people. Unbelievable here, folks. But of course, the other part here, folks, is, well, there's not a single statement from Justin Trudeau condemning this anti-Semitic hate crime, neither from Olivia Chow, neither from Doug Ford, because obviously, once again, the target here is Jews and, well, the perpetrators, the pro-Hamas mobs. So, in other words here, folks, there's a whole possible chance that this thing might be shrugged under the rug. And of course here, folks, I actually document the aftermath of that vile, disgusting, anti-Semitic hate crime that had occurred at another synagogue, which is called Kehilat Share Torah. Well, just check out this aftermath of this said arson, this anti-Semitic hate crime that had occurred at the synagogue. Here, folks, check it out. So there you have it there, folks. So you can just see right here, this is the result of, well, months of letting the pro-Hamas types get away with chanting genocide, spewing anti-Semitic rhetorics, and also the result of mass immigration, especially the factor that Justin Trudeau is essentially welcoming and bringing in people from Gaza and other places where terrorism is basically totally supported by the mass majority of people in that place. basically bunch of anti-Semites. That is the type of people that Justin Trudeau is trying to bring here. And of course, they've never been vetted, and of course, they've never been checked whether they have, well, basically background of anti-Semitism, and of course whether they have background of supporting terrorists like Hamas, the Hezbollah, and the Houthis. So, what quite frankly here, folks, once again, another synagogue being burnt down. And of course here, folks, thankfully that the signs were the only one that got burned. But just sort of imagine here, folks, if, you know, the building were to caught in fire, the significant damage that it could cause to the building is just like completely surreal. And especially if there is people inside the synagogue. Unbelievable here, folks. But of course, nonetheless here, well, you cannot expect Justin Trudeau to essentially end his 2-3 vacation and issue a statement condemning this vile anti-Semitic hate crime, and of course can't expect Justin Trudeau to hold a press conference about this anti-Semitic hate crime that had occurred today and basically also yesterday and back on Monday. Basically yesterday, you know, just like I mentioned earlier, a Jewish school, Leo Back Day School, has been torched, basically targeted by the pro-Hamas types. And of course, well, the school bus, basically a Jewish school bus, were burnt down back on Monday. This week's Monday. Just the first day of the week. Unfreaking believable here, folks. But nonetheless here, well, God knows what could happen tomorrow, and God knows whether there's gonna be another synagogue or Jewish school that will be targeted by the pro-Hamas types. So, well, once again here, folks, this is the pure result of not holding those bunch of anti-Semites to account. For Revolution News, I'm Asylum Justin Millimore. Well, folks, if you're a non-citizen and you're here on student visa or work visa, you take part in this pro-Hamas hate rallies and you support terrorism, well, there's one thing there, one solution. You should be deported. So if you can sign the petition by going to deporthamas.com, that's deporthamas.com. Of course here, folks, it's about time to send a message to these people that if you support terrorism, you take part in this pro-Hamas hate rallies, you are certainly not welcome here in Canada.